we are going to be doing the first Esports Roundup of the year. Pretty much the idea of this is just going to be going through a bunch of esports. I'm going to be going through pretty much this top half, except for Mobile Legends, because I don't know what that is and I don't care. To Overwatch, and then Fighting Game and Smash. I'm willing to add more later. Depends on what I follow, what people coming in here want to follow. So yeah, it really depends. And like, for reference, I follow like half of these, I would say. So like, I'm even getting into some of this stuff on my first time, and it'll be a learning experience for me and for everyone too. And like, hopefully it just makes it easier to like help people follow esports, because it's one of those things that everything's so spread out, and I kind of want to have like one central place of like, hey, I can just go in this video and see what's going on in different esports. So that's kind of the goal here. So we're starting off with fighting games, because that is my I won't say specialty, but my favorite at the moment. We have some interesting stuff. We have the Fav Cup, some really good players in this thing. However, it's just a fun 5v5 event. So it's like, if you want to just watch some good Street Fighter, you can go there. But inherently, it's not going to be a super competitive thing. Same with the Topanga. I don't know who is playing in it, because this doesn't show me. But again, with Topanga and Japan, you know it's going to be some good ass Street Fighter. But for the real like event with weight in fighting games this week, you would say it is the World War East, Asia East. This is the culmination of the 5 tournaments, and this is for a spot in Capcom Cup, which is like the Street Fighter World Championship. Like, I consider the Fighting Game World Championship as EVO. This is more like the specific Street Fighter one. So yeah, the two names I would keep an eye out for are Hot Dog 29, really good player, and then Chris Wong. Like, Chris Wong would have been my favorite to get out of this World Warrior, but he's starting losers. I wouldn't count that out. But again, any of these players could win. Genuinely, I think that's also one of these Street Fighters that, like, it can provide a lot of really good players. So, yeah. That is it for fighting games. I don't think anything is happening in Smash this week. Yeah, nothing in particular. Genesis is going to be the first real big event of the year. We're going to go down this way. So Dota is going to be running through a lot of qualifiers. So this whole just like week is going to be ESL 1 rally stuff, bunch of different qualifiers for PGLs, all that stuff. I'm not gonna go through every single one because they're qualifiers. So yeah, but we'll be watching this and seeing, and like, this is kind of where it's starting to become more interesting for my perspective of like getting to these big events. Gonna stick with Valve. I'm gonna go Counter-Strike, and Counter-Strike's still in their off season. So most of the stuff is still kind of figuring itself out. I do know, I think Rops got announced for Vitality today. Yeah, Rops is Vitality. Alisia's going to FaZe. I didn't see Some Pious is going to Heroic. Yeah, Heroic rebuilt their roster, so we'll see. Oh, Big got their players. 2 more Germans. Interesting. I don't know a ton about CS. Yeah, there's Frostfires going on right now. But really the big one is going to be the Blast Bounty Spring Qualifiers. This is where a lot of the really good teams are playing. So yeah, we'll see who does well, see kind of new look rosters. Like G2 hasn't even announced their 5th. Yeah, so I'm just looking at the rosters. If anyone else has them, if we're waiting on. Oh. Okay, never mind. But yeah, so that's pretty much Counter-Strike. It starts on the 14th, so it starts more next week, but we'll see the kind of outcome of it after next week rundown, and then yeah. Let's go to Valorant, sticking in the same tier. Nothing is really happening in Valorant right now. Today, tomorrow, we have the China kickoff. Which you would say is definitely the lower end of, like, EDG, great. Can just best. But like they're a very top heavy league. So it's like looking at the bracket, like, at least personally, I'm not sure I'd be excited for any of these matches. Like JDG, I might want to watch, but like, just because I like JDG and League and all that stuff. So yeah, it's like I would need to follow this. I don't know VCT China as much as the other regions. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see their kickoff. The VCLs are starting. Oh, that's Northeast. I don't care about Northeast. For VCLs, I'm going to be more covering ones I'm necessarily interested in at the time. I'm going to be sticking with most of the major regions, and then if I casually see something pop up with one of the VCLs that I'm interested in, I will start paying attention. But other than that, we're just gonna cover these 4 main ones. Next week we'll be hyped with Pacific and Americas, and EMEA is starting this week, the middle of this week. 16th, 15th, 15th. They're gonna be starting. So I think this is the match to watch. I think seeing New Look Navi going to Carmine Corp, like, see if Angel can really kind of take the newer players from him. They're from or to the roster, and like with his direction, we'll see. So yeah, this will be very fun to watch. I mean, it's also still the early rounds where we don't actually get to see. Oh, we will get to see one upper matchup this on. Is that Friday? Yeah, I'll be on Friday. So we'll get to see Fnatic and Vitality on Friday, which will be really nice. And it should be good games. Next week I'll talk about Pacific and the Americas because that's probably closer. Americas will be overlapping, but I'll miss like one game, like, or 2 games, I think. Right? Yeah, they start the 16th. So we'll miss MIBR loud. The MIBR will be an interesting one, because MIBR has this new roster with Aspas as like kind of their star, and this is the best team I think MIBR has had in VCT. So it'll be very interesting to see like the org itself do well. I'm still a Furious fan. I think Fury and G2, but yeah, so it'll be fun to see. I'll go through more, I think, in depth next week with Valorant, especially because that's when Pacific is starting. We'll already see some matches in Americas and EMEA start, so, and then we'll have the China stuff happen already. So yeah, lots of stuff happening in Valorant if you really are a fan. And we'll just go from Riot to Riot, go to League, and LPL is starting this week. And that is one I actually do know. I'm super excited for the LPL, especially with the new split format of this being fearless drafts, and like kind of in GSL groups. So, which are the maps that are playing? We have Anyone Legends playing this week. I think everyone actually should be playing this week. Anyway, Anyone Legends playing this week. That's hype. Personally, I think AL actually having like a good roster this year. If we go, like, objectively, this is a good roster that can make worlds. So I think it'll be fun to see kind of where they end up. I think they won the did they win the cup? I forget the name. Demacia Cup. Yes, they did. I thought that was them. So they won Demacia Cup. I know it's off season. You know, it's how much stock are you putting in the off season. But I do think they have a really good roster. I think they could easily get top 4. But I also think there's a few teams that could get top 4. So I think LPL is gonna be super fun. It always is chaos. Like always mostly the most fun league to watch. But yeah, we have Weibo versus OMG tomorrow. I don't know who's on OMG. This Weibo team is relatively the same, really good. They'll be solid top 4 contenders. OMG, they have Moham. They're gonna get they're 18th. I'm kidding. I just don't know that these guys as much, and Moham didn't really give me a great impression in DK, so I wouldn't be high on them. But still gonna watch Weibo will be great. LNG versus TT will be a fun match. That'll be on the 13th. And this is the group I'm excited for. Quite frankly, I am going to be a IG and NIP fan this year. Doomby coming back with Shanji. That is just going to be a fun ass roster to watch. And then just IG coming back with the Shy, and like I've always been a Rookie fan, so Rookie being on like a team that hopefully can not end him, and the Shy being back, and Shy is just always fun to watch. So yeah, that IG plays their first game the 19th, so we gotta wait a little bit, but we do get to watch the absolute terrible teams play against each other. RNG versus FPX, the Battle of Milky Way. So unfortunately, like we don't get the real hype matchup yet, but that'll be on the 19th. The 19th is, I think, the match I'm circling first. BLG versus EDG is going to be probably a good match. I think EDG's kind of fixed their roster a bit. Never mind. EDG is not good. I don't know why I thought they fixed their roster. So yeah, I think JDG is a team I'm very, very interested in watching. Just seeing Pays not in Gen G is going to be fascinating, and then to see how he kind of like how he does against LPL talent, and then like having Scout, so like that team should be good. So be super fun. Yeah, so LPL starting. I do wish I just had like. I can probably lol esports. Let's do that. This will be easier. Yeah, so 4 a.m. on Sunday is Weibo MG, and we got challengers. I don't know. Let's just do LPL for now. Yeah, so it's just one game a day. Because they are best of 5s. It's gonna be fearless. It's gonna be super fun. Like I think even the bad games, or quote unquote bad games, are going to be interesting to watch. So yeah, I might go to that next time. But and then if we get out of this, Korea is starting as well. They have their wacky ass format, and pretty much. The group battles are like, oh, this group plays against this group, and whichever group is overall better, they get through. It's confusing. Like I watch LCK Primer, I still don't really understand it. Yeah, it's a weirdness. But they don't have the schedule for. Oh, here we go. I love fighting game music with that random stuff. Yeah, so here's the group battle schedule. First matches will be on the 15th, it looks like. DRX versus Breon, which low-key is, I think, a very interesting match because you got the two bottom teams going at it. And also, like, I Fred and Brion might be better. Oh, this is so much easier to look at. Oh my god. Yeah, like Brion might be like a really good roster, and same with like DN Freaks. I don't know what they're actually called now. Balfour would be Kwangdong for me. Because that's the first teams I watched. Actually, the first team I watched in person was Kwangdong versus KT Roaster. But Nongshim is the team I think you're really gonna watch in that one. Because DNF has a good roster, and you're kind of like again, can they push for like 6th, 5th is kind of where you're looking with them, maybe even up to 4th. But Nongshim has Lehens. They have do they have Pusik on that roster? No, it's Kingen. It's Kingen. I knew they had 2 top people. So like, they have Kingen and Lehens. Like, I don't think the Sylvie Fisher and Jiwoo are that bad either. So it's like, can these 2 guys really do that well? And like, I'm very popping noise. That's unfortunate. I'll watch it back. I don't know why that would be happening. I don't know. It might also be the music. Okay, I'll keep in mind. Thank you. No, let me turn my overlay off. But yeah, yeah, it could be the open threshold. I need to really sit down and get that. But yeah, Nongshim could be super, super good, so I'm super excited. This team also could just be fire. It depends on their bot line, I would say. But yeah, we got the group battle. I think these matches are all interesting for their own right. Because kind of equal teams playing against each other. I think KT should stomp FearX, but FearX, you never know. I think this will be a big test for T1. But like having Doran on their team, Doran's not bad. Don't get me wrong. He might choke at internationals, but Doran is not a terrible player. But it's just kind of seeing how they kind of are actually working without Zeus, because like that core's been around for 3 years. So just anytime you have a core that changes is gonna be scary. And this is the Giga Banger. Genji versus HLE is going to be so entertaining and so telling, at least for the earliest part of the split, because those, you would say, are 2 teams that are fighting for this first stand. You're going to game, hell yeah. I think I would. I bet on that estate personally, but I'm rooting for Texas. But yeah, and then I'll talk about these games and like the recap after, because this is starting next week. So, and then I think LEC is another week, so we're fine for that. And same with Pacific. So I will talk about that next time. I mean, not like they're counting you out. It's like in a bad way. Ohio State is just looking like they killed Oregon. And they also killed Tennessee. So it's like, I'm not counting you guys out. I'm just saying I get it. And yeah, we have that's fair. That's also in Dallas. So you guys, everything is going in your favor to have a better chance than I don't think you would have in any other scenario. But yeah, we're gonna start talking about RLCS, because RLCS is starting their year. APAC's been going already. I think they're in top 8 now. Yeah, so they had their 2 GSL groups. I still don't like this format for APAC, but we had a bunch of games happen. We had Elevate 3-0ing Kinotrope again. Is a little scary for me because I want them to do well because they're a nice Japanese roster. Elevate being Luminosity, I think, is a big one. But Kinotrope looks good through the rest of the thing, so it's like I want to see them play against Luminosity because I think they played Elevate already. Yeah, they played Elevate already, so I wonder if it's just they can't beat them. And then this is the side of the bracket I don't really know at all. But yeah, so we got upper bracket tomorrow. Yeah, upper bracket is tomorrow morning. If you want to get up real early. Actually, it's not even that early. Lower bracket's early. Got Luminosity. I think it's Luminosity and Elevate you'd be very favorites on, and then Kinotrope, and I think 3 rats. Of course. No way they're gonna have to play Elevate again. Or no, they won't. They'll play this team, not Elevate. Okay. But yeah, I think APAC, you're really looking at Elevate as the team to beat with Maxio and Asilion. Fucking EU players playing in APAC because that makes sense. And then Luminosity, I think they need a little bit more time because they're third left, like right before the season started. So Cataclysm needs some time to get in the fold with Sphinx and Sosa, and then realize the Japanese OG on Kinotrope. Yeah, the rest of these guys don't really know too well. Oh, okay, this is a fucking Finnish roster. Great. They need to have some sort of residency requirement. It's insane. No, I want to go back to the main page. And then I'll go to EU because EU's happening right now. Going down to the bracket. Dig officially got signed today. Went that out. But nothing too surprising overall. I guess the only thing I would say is NIP getting 3-0'd by Vitality. Like, you'd probably think that'd be a little closer. But like, NIP is getting to the bracket stage, so just kind of a unfortunate draw for them. But also you gotta win. So Geekay, who's on Geekay? That's Archie Joya and Oli. Okay. I'm starting to just learn the new orgs because like this is such a fucking insane off season. But yeah, so these matches gonna be really, really hype in my opinion. I do think it should be Vitality and then probably Dignitas. Like, I'm not too high on this Army Corp roster. I don't know why, even though like the objective for this should be the best. Like, I don't know. It's just a mental thing. I think this Vitality roster is insane though. Exotic, Zen, and Monkey Moon. Like, that's disgusting. So yeah, these matches are also going to be tomorrow, more at a reasonable time for North American fans, I guess. But yeah, I would imagine Ninjas win this and Geekay wins that. But we'll see. And then for NA, South America, and then Middle East, they're all going through their qualifiers right now. So this is not even close to main event. Of course, Falcons are already through. That does not surprise me. So yeah, the qualifiers are all going to be this weekend. Swiss stage is tomorrow. And then the GSL groups will be the next week. I think that is the same for South America. Oh no, South America's already through their GSL groups. And they have their bracket stage starting today. I think the favorites are going to be Secret and Furia. I know there's another good roster. Like, yeah, the Shaman with Yukio. And Yandi is like, they can possibly do some damage, but really, like, it'd be hard. It's gonna be hard to dethrone this Furia team with Jan, Trifino, and Lost. They just been running this region, and they're such good players. They did. Oh, they forfeited. Okay, they forfeited a match in the 3-0. That's hilarious. And the team that they forfeited to didn't even get through. That's tragic. So yeah, NA gonna be going through their stuff. It's starting earlier today. So it'll be interesting to see kind of who joins NRG and then Gen G like at the top and those types. So lots of Rocket League if you're a fan of that this weekend. And then Apex we're gonna skip because they're just preparing for Worlds. That will be starting the end of this month and going into February, I believe, in Sapporo, Japan. And then Overwatch is also kind of in a lull period where their season hasn't started yet, so there's not really much to talk about and much going on. And then R6 is getting ready for their 6th Invitational 2025. And they got most of their teams, but we're just waiting on Europe and North America. North America, this with Wildcard, Oxygen, LIS, and Team Cruelty. I believe Wildcard are the favorites, but again, these things, double elim, high pressure. It's gonna be fun to watch. This is on the 11th, and 12th will be the finals. And then for EU and MENA, they have Into the Breach, Matco Esports, G2, and Asparagus, the boys. The favorite to me, I would say is G2, just because G2 Esports has always been that great, but I know they haven't been as good since I think Pengu left, so Into the Breach is the 1 seed. They definitely easily could win it all. That is also happening tomorrow and Saturday. So we'll see who is the final 2 teams getting into the 6th Invitational, which is going to be a while away, even after the Apex tournament. But I got these cool teams. I'll do more of a breakdown on the 6th Invitational when that's happening and it gets closer to it. Like the big events, I'm going to be focusing a lot more on as well. So yeah, I think I covered everything that I want to talk about. Yeah, I covered everything for now. For people watching, if there's any other esports you want me to talk about, please let me know. Other than that, I appreciate everyone for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful day.